I'm trying something new with this here mic over here, so bear with me. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try it. If you're new here, I am curated by Chelsea, and if you're not, welcome back. So today I'm talking about mindset shifts and being 30. Hopefully this is a shorter one, but I'm trying to do this little podcast style, but I don't know. I'm just playing around. Anyway, so when I first turned 30, I did not think anything of it. Like, I just felt like I was getting older. I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, I got a little older. I feel pretty much the same. Boy, was I wrong. So probably closer to when I was turning 31, so about 3/4 way until I was 30, I started to feel differently about things. My mindset had changed a little bit. Well, a lot, actually. And I really wasn't sure what was happening. And then now that I'm midway into being 31, almost 32, that is so crazy to say. Yeah, I see it now. I definitely see it. I feel so much more confident. I feel sexier. I don't care what anybody thinks. And I don't have as much energy as I used to, but I can say it is kind of lit in the 30s. It just really is. I can't exactly explain why, because it's really just all in the mindset. Like, I feel like I can do anything. And I think it's just because you spend your 20s being so status quo that you don't realize that you can do things differently. Now, I know there are some people in their 20s who did decide to do things differently, but you just don't feel confident in it, or at least I didn't. I felt like I still need to be doing what everybody else is doing because it works. Like, there is a blueprint set for you and you can do those things, but you don't really want to do them. They drain you. Like, things are so draining when you don't want to do them or you don't have a passion for them. You just feel very lost. Like, you know which way to go, but you still feel lost. It's kind of crazy. Whereas in your 30s, you're like, okay, I did what needed to be done and it still didn't work for me. At least that's my story. I always found myself with a big giant roadblock in front of me in my 20s, trying to do the right. For instance, I remember getting my first big girl job out of college. I think I was 23. I had other jobs, but I was trying to do YouTube then, but then I was like, I'm just not confident enough. I got so scared. I had my blog and all that, but it was scary. I even started a jewelry business for a minute and I got one negative review and quit instantly. Negativity really got to me in my 20s, so I just try to shut it out. And honestly, I wish I would have kept going. But at my first big girl job, I was doing pretty good, I guess. It was a social media manager job, but honestly, I was really just an assistant, and they should really just hire assistants, secretaries, whatever you want to call it, and stop calling it a social media manager. I'm an assistant who will post occasionally on social media. Let's be absolutely real. Anyway, so I got that job. I was doing good. I was there for 2 years, but I was making $15 an hour. And as you know, that is not that much at all. For 2016, 2017, it was just barely enough, to be completely honest. I wasn't exactly promised, but I was told that if I stayed for 2 years, I would eventually become full-time. And as that time passed, then they were like, oh, well, it's not in the budget, you can still stay and we'll pay you more, do overtime, it'll be like full-time. So basically, I was doing full-time-ish hours, not quite, but getting part-time pay. And honestly, I should have gone up to at least $20 per hour while I was there, because I feel like I put in quite a bit of work into that job. I'm not going to go too much into detail about what I had to do, but just know that it was a lot. And I felt like $15 an hour was very much lowballing me. So I ended up leaving. And then shortly after that, COVID started. So oh gosh, what a story. It always seemed like it didn't work out in my favor. So middle of 2020, after my birthday, I decided to start my business, Black Candy Co., which I've mentioned in many, many videos. And honestly, even though it has been a struggle, I feel like that definitely is my path. I know for sure being a creative, being on YouTube, starting a blog, whatever it is definitely my path. I know I'm meant to be a creative for sure. And I'm here and I'm just trotting along, doing what needs to be done, trying different things like putting this mic together, and making my sound good. I'm just trying my best to be a YouTuber, an artist, a creative, whatever I'm calling myself today. For me, the mindset shift really hit me when I stopped comparing myself to other people. And that was one thing that I did very often. I compared myself to what this person was posting on Instagram and, you know, what this person in their life was already doing. Like, I have friends who are the same age as me and they're married. And of course that makes me feel away because it's like, well, what am I doing wrong to not also be in a relationship and be getting married at 25? And, you know, now looking back on it, I realized like, yeah, babe, you were not ready to be in a relationship and you certainly were not ready to be married. Because girl, now I wasn't a mess, but I can honestly say I was very impatient and very selfish. And not the good kind of selfish, but that's a story for another day. But there were just always these little things that I would compare myself to other people, especially when it came to being on social media, trying to grow my Instagram. And I felt like my Instagram or my photos were really good, really aesthetic, and I was writing good captions or decent captions, and I still wasn't growing. And even still to this day, that happens. But, you know, I don't want to get too much into this topic either, but sometimes it's just, that's not where you're supposed to be. And once you realize that, that's when you stop comparing yourself to other people. Because when something is for you, it's very effortless. Like, it's work, but it's effortless work. It's meant to be. I remember in 2020 when one of my pins took off on Pinterest. The pin went viral. It went viral in my mind anyway. But to this day, it still gets views on it. And I don't know what it was, but I was just like, oh my God, I have thousands of people viewing this pin to go to my blog. And it was a blog post about how to style broad shoulders, which is a very basic blog post in my opinion. And I'm like, all I had to do was tell people how to style broad shoulders. And if you're interested, I will link it down below. But I couldn't believe that people were so interested in something like this. And the fact that all I had to do was pin it this whole time, use Pinterest, use a different platform, because posting that on Instagram, I would have got, 20 likes and maybe someone stealing my ideas. Because let's be real, people on Instagram will take each other's ideas all the time. And I don't think it's a bad thing because, again, I'm an artist and you're supposed to steal like an artist, So I get it, but it's still annoying. But yeah, as I started nearing 30, I definitely stopped comparing myself to others. Like, I'm never like, well, their content isn't as good as mine, or, well, her hair is long and we have the same hair texture. Why can't my hair be that long? I don't do that anymore. And I used to do that so much in my 20s. And I don't know, I just don't. Like, I just be like, oh, good for them. Congratulations. Like, I'm happy for everybody. There is success for everybody out here. And I think when we all, as a collective, start to realize that, we'll all be better. Let me get into the confidence. The confidence boost was crazy once I turned 30, and I don't know what it was. What I think it was, I just started doing things that I actually loved. Like, I am someone who, when I wear my braids, this is very specific. When I wear my braids, I like to wear them in pigtails. And no, I'm not trying to infantilize myself or anything like that. I just like how that looks on me. And I feel very grown and sexy when I wear pigtails, even though I know for some people they're like, pigtails are childish. On me, it's very sexy, and it's also very intentional. Like, it just gives a vibe, and I love it, but not in a weird, cringy way. Trust me. I think it, especially with my outfits, it always tends to give it like a more edgy vibe. And also, if I have like colorful hair in, it definitely gives more of an edgy vibe than it does like is she trying to be like a little girl? No. When I started like wearing whatever I wanted to wear, like one of my favorite styles is kind of just all black, edgy type of clothing, goth, grunge. I like that style of clothing. And when I went back to that, I felt so much happier. And even something as simple as straightening my hair versus trying to wear it in its curly state all the time and it not doing what I want it to do has made me so much happier. I tend to get more compliments, not that I'm really looking for them, when I wear the style that I like, when I wear my hair the way I want to wear it. That's when I start to feel like, yeah, I look good. I'm so confident. And I don't know. I don't know what made me just be like, whatever, I'm gonna do it. Because when I was younger and I did wear all black and gray and white neutrals, I would often get, you're always wearing black, you're always wearing gray, you need to wear color, you're black, you should be wearing colorful clothes. And I hear them, you know, in the summertime I do tend to wear color, but I like wearing black. I think I look really good in it. I feel very confident. I think I look more confident. I feel very sexy in black. So it's just weird how you're telling me that I need to stop wearing so much black because I look good in it. I also look good in burnt orange, very specific. I also look good in blues, but I like black. And I like all the different things I can do with black. And I listened to people back in the day, or back when I was 20. I listened and I would try to wear colors and I didn't feel as confident in them. I remember I would like do like blush pinks because, you know, I'm a girl and I felt like I should be feminine. And no, like sometimes the pink works, but burnt orange, a blue, sometimes a purple. There's a color range that I like, but black and white are definitely my colors. So I really do try to stick with my color palette. Also, this makes shopping so much easier because now I'm not like, oh, that's cute, let me pick it up, and don't even care if it's even in my style. So now that I just do what I want with myself, I feel way more confident than I've ever felt. As far as the energy thing goes, I do what I can to stay energized throughout the day. A lot of the times that looks like me just moving, just staying on my feet all day if I can. If I'm editing, I take frequent breaks and I stay on top of my vitamin D and iron, which I need to go and take my iron supplement. Not looking forward to it, but I definitely need to. And just taking care of my health overall. I try to prioritize sleep now for sure because I am not a very restful sleeper, but I would like to be. I have to limit my scrolling for sure because it's embarrassing how much I scroll sometimes. I used to be a night owl and now I can't be a night owl because it just ruins my whole day, my whole mood. I can't do it anymore. But I'm trying to get better. That's the only thing that I do miss about my 20s is the energy that I had all the time, the way I could go out back to back to back days on the weekend and still show up for work on Monday, the way I could drink like a fish and be good to go when the weekday started. And now I need at least 2 days recovery if I drink some alcohol. And honestly, at this point, I might as well just give it up. That is all I have for today. I wanted to try something different this time. I need a mic arm for this. So I'm going to look into that because this is heavy, but I do like it. The sound is amazing. Let me know if you like this setup and if you want to see more videos like this in the comments. I'm definitely going to be talking about life in my 30s and how it's treating me and how I'm treating it. We're gonna work on the structure of things, but I definitely wanted to test this out. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.